So, here are some of the Uber moments, Uber customer moments, or some of the Uber clans behaviors that left me asking myself 1,000 questions that are even now unanswered to me. In fact, I feel like they are not reality. I feel like it was not me. Some behaviors that I've never seen and I've never thought they will happen. So first, most of these ones happened last year. I picked a ride in around Githurai. This guy was a foreign national, very friendly guy. And this guy was very friendly. We had a lot of stories. There was a bit of traffic around Roysambu. This guy was going to somewhere around USIU. So we had a lot of stories, But while we were talking, when we were having stories, but there was no story about anything else apart from his country and my country, Kenya. And he was telling me about how he has lived in Kenya. Kenya is like Europe, all that. And we had a lot of that. Then something was happening even when we were having stories. This guy was always touching my thighs because the guy was seated on a co-driver seat. So this guy kept speaking but tapping my thighs. So I did not think my left thigh. I did not thought of anything because I had nothing in mind. So we kept having stories because remember the story is also about the countries. Survival, how to survive in this country, the changes, the difference, only that. And this guy was a foreign national, one of our neighboring countries in East Africa. So we went, I dropped this guy, but out of good conversation, this guy tells me that I will have to keep your number. So I thought maybe it's about commuting around. Maybe he will be calling me to drive him around. And also this guy had, the first people we met, his friend were two ladies, beautiful ones. So I did not thought of anything fishy about this guy. Then after some few minutes, I got a ride to Ridgeways. And that's when this guy called. And I told him, I did not pick the call, but I texted him and told him, if you want to text me on WhatsApp. And I sent him a WhatsApp number. And to my surprise, this guy now started to ask me for a chance so that if we can meet maybe somewhere at a BNB. No, the first question was, do you have a family? I told him, yes, I have a family. I'm a father. And this guy now went ahead to ask me whether we can meet. And I asked him, yes, why not? We can meet, but only if we have something to talk about. If we are going to have, and what will be our conversation? We are both men. And I told him, let's meet at maybe somewhere at a public place so that I will know what you want. And this guy told me that he wants us to meet at a BNB. My question is, how am I meeting a man at a BNB? Not even an open place, an hotel, a private place, a BNB. And this guy went ahead to disclose what he wanted. And hey, trust me, that one was so painful to me to an extent, I just went back home. I gave my phone to my wife and I told him, can you see this foolish man? Look at this. And in a few, this guy realized that I was not interested in his stories, his games. And this guy deleted all the messages. That's the end of the story. The second guy, I picked this guy at around Eastleigh. And this one really hit me hard. Because the first one, I was not aware. And this guy came to tell me this thing after. So I was not too much concerned. But now the second guy now, I went for this guy around Eastleigh, picked the guy on a Bolt app. Both clients are Bolt customers. Both of them were on Bolt app. Picked this guy. He was going to a certain restaurant around Ngong Road, but the guy was on Miraa. So this guy, we spoke, we had a bit of stories. This guy was asking me questions, stories, and this guy insisted that I should come back and pick him maybe around morning, because it was around 9 p.m. and he was going to stay there until around maybe 4 a.m. in the morning. So he insisted that I should pick him. And I told myself, it's okay, I will pick you. But most of the time, I don't advocate for offline rides. But since this guy was just going to a restaurant, and also we are coming from Eastleigh. Eastleigh is not that bad, not that much risky nowadays. No, it is not the first time I've met police officers patrolling around Eastleigh, asking vehicles, who are you carrying, all that. So I knew Eastleigh is not bad. So this guy called. He called when I was at the airport going to somewhere around Naivasha Road. And I told him, I'm far from where you are and just request another cab. But this guy kept calling. I went to Naivasha Road. Around 30 minutes later, the guy called again. Are you done? And I told him, no, I'm still far. He kept waiting. Later, I picked another ride around Ngong Road because I did not want to pick this guy, but he insisted. So I picked some ladies to South Sea. And to South Sea, this guy called and I told him I'm on Mombasa Road, I'm in South Sea. And the guy told me, please don't pick another ride, just come, I will pay you. And I went to pick him. I picked the guy, same destination. He told me that it's the same destination. Then on our way, story started. But remember the first story, this guy was now having stories asking me, how do you work overnight without drinking alcohol? You don't chew Miraa. What is it? You are not chewing, you are not doing anything, you are just sober. I told him that those things, I can use them, but only when I'm off. And he insisted he wanted to give me a piece of Miraa to chew. But I told him, maybe later. If you want to give me, just give it to me. I will keep it. I will have a good time with it when I'm home. He did not give me that. Then this guy was also touchy. He was touching me at some point, though just a tap, not a touch as usual, a tap. So the first story, the first guy clicked in my mind now, because this time, this is our second time. The first question was, do you have a family? So this one was very common to me. So I was answering this guy, but in silent. I wanted to show him something that I don't want what he's talking about. I don't want to hear what he's talking about. But the guy kept the story. Then now he became aggressive to start touching me now aggressively while driving. When I told him, bro, stop it. Stop that nonsense. Remember, it's an offline ride now. The first one was online. The second one now offline. And since he was a client, I hate that noise with the clients. I don't want to be that rude to the client. I just told him, bro, stop that nonsense. And he stopped. I dropped this guy around Eastleigh. This guy was not Somali. He was not Somali. I don't think he was not looking Somali. He was like an Arab. Arab. I don't know. From the look of things, he was not Somali. But also, he was not Kenyan. We went, I dropped the guy, and the guy paid me. He paid even in advance before we get there. At around Pangani, the guy had paid me, and he paid for 800. And as usual, the ride was was around 340, 350. And the guy was like, have you seen what I've sent you? Can you now smile? I told him, why am I smiling? So I dropped this guy. He told me to call him in case I want anything from him. So this one now touched me very hard, but I did not go home like the first one. But this one touched me very, very hard. To an extent, I asked myself, am I so beautiful? Do I look like a woman to someone? I felt like nilijidharau. I felt like I graded myself very low on that day. Nilijidharau sana. Nilifeel vibaya. I felt like, why my fellow men are asking me for such a nonsense? I'm a father. I have a family. Why? And with that pain, I went ahead to ask this question in one of our groups, Uber groups on Facebook. And this one was a massage to my mind. This one was like motivation to me that it is a common thing. All the drivers were like, oh, leo ndio umewapata. It is your first time. We get them every time. So this thing, to me, woman to woman, it has always been common. In fact, nimewabeba wengi, wanawake kwa wanawake nimewabeba wengi na sishughulikangi. But about men, even from where I come from, I've never seen man to man. It has never happened around me. So sijai kuwa na hiyo mind that it is common like that. Or sijai fikiria kuna mwanaume atai ni omba nafasi kama hiyo ya simu tu. This one hii ni guza, but nilipata kumbe ni kitu ya kawaida dereva wanapitia. Uber drivers are going through this thing and they don't talk about it. Now, another one was when I picked a client around the Mara Mall, going to some clubs around Pipeline. And they were 3 clients. This one left me with 1,000 questions to date. And if you can answer me on this one, please leave me a comment. There were 3 people, a man seated in front, next to me, the co-driver seat, and 2 women seated at the back. 3 clients. And what happened was so painful because it was not a long distance, right? It was a short distance. And to my surprise, this guy started laughing. And I was like, what is he laughing about? The ladies are silent. What is he laughing? Why is he laughing? Why is this guy laughing? And they were all drunk, very, very drunk. Mostly the ladies were drunk. Then I started to think of why is he laughing? And I looked at the mirror. This one in the middle of the car. To my surprise, these ladies were making love behind me. The ladies, 2 ladies, and the man in front is laughing. My question was, who is this man to these ladies? That was the question I was left with. Who is this man to these ladies? Because he's just laughing. He's not even bothered, not scared of anything. Because it was like it was a common thing. So my question, who is this guy? Who was this guy to these people? That was my serious question.